So when you're up to the point of 25 clients on your books, obviously that's going to take some client management, some time management in your personal life and your professional life. How did you do that?
First of all, for PTs coming in, when you're hitting 25 PT sessions plus a week, I mean, the maximum I was sort of doing before we did create, I was doing 45 to 55 PT sessions a week. So my diary was chock-a-block. Any PT who wants to do 25 plus, you've got to realise that the times you're going to be working are going to be early in the morning and late in the evening, because you're going to be working during your client's leisure time, before work or after work. You're very rarely going to get those ones in the middle of the day. So you're going to have to manage that first of all and understand that that's going to be the case and be happy with that. If you're not happy with that, chances are you're not going to hit the numbers of those numbers on a face-to-face PT, because you're just not working with the clients there. The gym's empty generally more from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. That's changed a little bit now because people work from home, but not a great deal. Still people do it morning or evening. So you've got to manage that in terms of your expectation of when you're going to work, and the amount of PTs to sort of come in, you think, oh, I'm going to be self-employed, I can manage my own time, I'm going to have flexible hours. It's not. It really isn't. Then I'm not going to lie, that's absolutely not the case. But when you do then have the clients and you're building to that, make sure that the afternoons that you do have, which are free, you get to do stuff for yourself, whether that be you're training then because you can't do it any other time, spending time with friends, family, getting your admin stuff done, sleeping. I love a nana nap. I'll probably still have one daily. So putting that in place, but managing your clients in the other times in between. Again, it's sort of understanding what they prefer in terms of times. And most people do like to have a fixed time, so get that set. In all honesty, I never really did that. When I spoke to clients and stuff, it was always, I would say it's a first come, first serve. So if you want to book 3 months in advance and you had your diary 3 months in advance, then we book them in. That's absolutely fine. But if because of work, you do remote work, 1 week you're in London 4 days a week, 1 week you're in 1 day a week, it's a first come, first serve basis with that. They were the rules in which I did my PT, and my clients knew that from day one. That's absolutely fine. We just have to work around each other. And that's how I managed it. I know some people might not like that way, not client-wise, but PT-wise. I can only say what worked for me, and it was just easy. It just meant my diary was always full, because I wasn't trying to go, oh, that person I know I'm going to lose this week, I'm not going to fill it. It's constantly from 5:30 in the morning till 11, I'm back to back. From 5 p.m. till 8:30 p.m, I'm back to back. And it managed it that way. And then it got to a point where some people you just weren't able to PT because you didn't have the time anymore. That's how it sort of operates. And then you can be a little bit more strategic, I suppose, in who you want to train maybe, but also at the same time in how much you want to charge. If your books are now full, if you want to up the amount you want to charge per hour, it might mean that you've lost someone, but you've got someone in the wind who probably wants that session anyway. So that's absolutely fine. But ultimately, that is how I managed my diary, knowing that it's going to be long days, it's going to be hard work. But if you have a passion for PT and you have a passion working with people, it doesn't feel like a hard day in comparison to going to do, I know, 9 to 5 that you ultimately wanted to leave anyway. So
something that I do want to touch on as well, something we always bang on about, is time management now with this flourishing industry of online coaches. So time managing your clients in the morning and the evenings, but those hours you have in the day. If you're a PT and you're trying to employ the hybrid model where you're doing your PT in your peak times at the gym floor and then the online coaching in between those hours.
That's it. That's when you've got that perfect time there. You might have a 3, 4, 5 hour block where you can do some of that online coaching elements. Speaking about that might be developing your brand or developing your content for the next month if it's blocked that, or it could just be actually checking in with your online clients. Now you've built up that online business. So you've now opened, you might be working potentially 12 hours a day, but in order to become a really successful coach and earn really decent money as a PT, that's what you're going to have to do. It is in terms of, there's so many PTs on average. UK average for a PT is I can't remember if it's 21 or 28,000 is an average for a PT. You shouldn't be aiming for that. Face-to-face PT, if you're delivering 20, 25 sessions a week outside of London, UK average is going to be between 30 and 40 pounds. If we say it's the minimum, 30 pounds a session, 20 hours a week, face-to-face PT, what's that work out? 2,400. So you're sort of 28,000. So you're at the upper end, sort of 21 to 28, and that's you doing 20 hours. Realistically, you should be aiming for 30, 40, just like a normal salaried job. You're now talking 50, 60K. And that's not unrealistic for any PT to do. It really isn't. You've got to put the work in.
Going into the boring side of client management. So I know, Josh, many people know you're the most tech savvy. I would assume that you were pretty old school in the way that you'd manage your clients, probably written down on paper where you've got all booked in. But was there anything you employed, any processes that you employed that you found useful that helped you manage your diary and your time and your clients?
I had 2 diaries. I use just the normal iPhone calendar to put all of the clients in, and I used a paper diary to keep an understanding of how many sessions they had. So I knew if someone had done a DD of a block of 8, or whether they'd done 20 clients, whatever it may be, and I used the paper diary for that. But otherwise, it was just a calendar, and it would be slotted in, and at the end of every session, it might be, right, when we see each other next, and booking that in advance if need be. I'm seeing you on Saturday, whatever it may be. Otherwise, tech, I'm shit. I don't use it. Yeah.
I guess it's what works for you, isn't it? Because really at that point, it's what's convenient. How are you best going to keep track of that?
Exactly. Yeah, the tech side of things and stuff, we can overcomplicate. From a PT perspective, online coaching is different. You need the tech to be able to engage with the clients, to get their workouts programmed. That needs to be easy and simple to use. You probably need the tech to see about like their nutrition, their calories, whatever it may be. So it's all in one shop. But face to face, that personal aspect, you don't want the tech to be in the way. That's almost a barrier of you just getting to know the person and being with them as much as possible. You just want that to be quick and convenient. Right, here's the diary. You may use tech to then keep track of what they're doing from a session to session perspective, absolutely. But the client generally doesn't really care about that part. They're just there to be with you and want to be told what to do. That's it.
It's an interesting take, isn't it? Because like traditional face-to-face personal training hasn't evolved all that much. It is what it is. Then no matter what technology comes out, of course, you're talking about the like fitness tracking apps. You've got like body composition scans, stuff like that, which gives you greater insights into performance and their physical metrics. But face-to-face PT, that's the same no matter what happens with all their peripherals.
The main reason people still have a PT, more than anything, they have specific goals, but more than anything, it's to remain and stay accountable to someone so that they actually go to the gym as frequently as they need to, feel a little bit better in themselves, look a little bit better. But that's the reason they'll pick up a PT fundamentally, is that for that accountability. So you need to be on top of that aspect, the tech side of things, all the sexy parts which make more chance of results or anything. People aren't bought in by that. They're bought in by you being able to make sure that they keep coming in as often as they need to, and then they're going to be a client for life if you can do that well.